Assassin's Creed Valhalla trailer dropped, and I'm personally super excited. So Ubisoft recently released the trailer for the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla game. It's going to be set during the Viking Age. For you historians out there, that's 793 to 1066 AD. And I just kind of wanted to get your takes on it, guys. What parts from the trailer did you like? What didn't you like? What do you think? Dan, do you want to start? Because you were playing the Assassin's Creed games for a while.
Sure, yeah. I think it looks really good. I think they did a really good job with the graphics. And I don't mean to, it has graphics. Game has graphics. Check. No, like the way that the characters move and the facial expressions and the lighting, I mean, they really seem to have stepped it up a notch. Like, I remember seeing the Hellblade 2 trailer or teaser back when they were pushing the Xbox Series X. And I'd say it's very similar level, maybe not quite to that level, but very similar level to that as far as like looks. And yeah, I'm excited about that.
Well, it was a CGI trailer, right?
Yeah, it was a CG trailer.
Yeah, it's not gameplay.
It was, yeah.
We'll get gameplay. Yeah. Well, you'll probably see gameplay today when this story goes up, most likely.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what? One thing that really stuck out to me was when the woman puts her hand in the bowl with blood and then raises her 3 fingers up and runs them down his face. And when she gets to the tip of his nose, it just moves ever so slightly in an extremely realistic fashion. And I was just like, oh my god, this is next gen.
Next gen's here.
Dude, next gen is here. When you can have like mushy, like cartilage in a face react the way that it's supposed to with physics, I'm like, we're getting there.
This game truly made me feel like we're actually moving towards, well, this trailer made it look like we're moving towards the next generation. Like, it looks amazing. It looks almost too realistic. Like, it's very hyper realistic. But then you can see the gamey elements to it, like that whole scene where he's fighting that gigantic, like, I don't know,
European dude,
European guy. Yeah, yeah. The very end when they show the hidden blade, like that's not realistic. People were not that size. Like, that's not a real person, but it's a very video game like enemy that you have to face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are dudes like that, and once that trailer dropped, I immediately grabbed Assassin's Creed Origin off of my shelf and jammed it in my Xbox as fast as I possibly could, because I've been like waiting, and then finally I was like, this is the reason, this is why I'm playing this, and there are just big, beefy dudes in the game like that, so I kind of was like, oh, those fights are really hard, and they're going to have those in that game too, like, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that took me like a little bit away from the immersion of it. Because, like that's not a very realistic character, but it is still a video game, so I kind of gotta get past that.
Yeah.
I love the Viking aesthetic. Like, the new God of War, the reboot, that's the Nordic mythology. Yeah. I love that game to death. I can't wait for more. Like, I think some games are going to shift towards, like, a Viking theme. Because, we've seen themes of games all come in at once. Like, you'll see a burst of, like, a whole bunch of similar games. So I can see Vikings being the next thing. To
piggyback on your God of War statement, so we had the first 3 the big mainline God of War games for PS2 and PS3. That was Greek mythology. And then the previous game, Dan, you correct me if I'm wrong, Odyssey is Greek mythology, right?
It is.
So
Odyssey is Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So we had like God of War do Greek mythology, then Assassin's Creed does Greek mythology. I mean, not even close in time era wise, but just as a point of conversation, then God of War does this crazy awesome game with Norse mythology, and then Assassin's Creed comes out with the game and they're like, oh yeah, Norse mythology is cool.
I wonder.
I can't help wonder how much influence the Marvel Cinematic Universe has over the popularity in Norse mythology at this point in gaming.
Well, you could tell because if you play God of War, like you're like, oh my god, that
axe
is
like katunk.
Yeah, that's the Thor axe.
Yeah.
They
the Thor axe.
Yeah. But they reference characters, so you're like, oh my god, I know that character from the Marvel universe. So it's all like Norse mythology is Thor, Loki, Odin. Like they're all the same characters, so it makes sense that they'll overlap, and it just kind of works out that it'll help them sell this game really.
But also they did make a point, because I've seen and read a couple of things where they're like, so you guys like played God of War and thought that was awesome, and now you're making this? And they were like, yes, we did. And they were like, admittedly, they're like, yes, we did play God of War, and it was awesome. But like, you need to think about how Assassin's Creed games work. Like, they're set in like the Viking Age. It's not like they're gonna go to like Helheim and do this stuff. Like, they're not fighting creatures and all these things. It's set in a very real historical time with like, some gaming fantastical elements sprinkled in, but like they are like very different types of games.
Yeah, to be fair, Assassin's Creed, in some of the DLCs, they do get into some of those fantastical elements, but they typically save those for the DLC. So I think the DLC for Valhalla is going to be freaking epic.
Just insane.
The one thing I do want to mention is this doesn't seem like an Assassin's Creed game. I mean, I played some of Odyssey.
I wanted to bring that up too. Go ahead.
And, Odyssey, like there's a clear break in gameplay for the Assassin's Creed series. Like when Origins came out,
like
that was a shift.
Major.
So
I would say to some extent it was a shift even before Origins with Syndicate. They started introducing the RPG elements and shifting in that direction. But Origins, they really revamped everything.
With my comment about the shifting though is that like I feel like Origins, Assassin's Creed, in my mind, was always a cool stealth game. And in Origins, I do not have to play that way if I don't want to. And was it like that in Syndicate?
Well, what I would say is my playthrough of all the Assassin's Creed games, I wanted it to be a stealth game. All the games I wanted to be stealth games, and only a few of them really emphasized the stealth for me.
Okay.
Most of them felt like you could just
the first
run
few.
in and
I mean, I would try to be stealthy, but then like one random dude would see me, and I'm like,
here we
die
go. Pulling out my hammer.
I played like the early few games, and then I kind of like lost interest. But that was like my favorite part of it, that it was stealth. Not like I hated just like destroying like everybody because like I messed up or something.
Yeah, I would like to see the stealth return.
Yeah, this made me want to play Assassin's Creed again, though. I don't know about everybody else, but I just want to get back into that series.
Oh, definitely.
I know
this was the catalyst.
You literally played it. You played Origins that day, right?
Yeah, that day.
Yeah. I think by the time this game comes out, we'll have had a nice long break from my 2 months of nonstop only all of the Assassin's Creed games.
Question for you, Dan. Are you going to get a next-gen system to play it?
Yeah.
Because it will be on PS4, it will be on Xbox One, so it will be on those systems.
I am very torn. Like, I know that, like, the Xbox, they're saying if you get the previous gen game, that you'll get the next gen benefits if you get the next gen system. I'm hoping that PlayStation does a similar thing, so I can get the PS4 game now, and then eventually down the road get a PS5 and get the enhanced benefits.
Did they confirm that Assassin's Creed? Because I think it was only certain games for Xbox. Like, I think they have to opt in.
Yeah, I know Cyberpunk 2077 basically, or essentially said definitely they were.
It's all first party for sure, and then third party opts in.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm going to have to see more about the next gen consoles to decide really if I want to jump in right away or wait, and I might have to end up getting it on PS4. I'm not sure. I don't know.
This is going to be a day one buy for me. It's
me too.
If it drops with the systems, I'm going to buy the system and the game at the same time. It's going to be like one of my first next gen games, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, I think me too as well. I just don't know if I'll current gen or next gen it.
Mm-hmm. I thought like cool.
Maybe the next
Assassin's Creed is not really my thing anymore, so I'll wait and see.
Are you big into Norse mythology?
No.
I am. I have. After I beat God of War, I went to Barnes and Noble and I bought a book. What?
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 Well, when you were talking about like I kind of agreed with like it was like really realistic. That kind of turned me off. Like I don't want to see all that with the blood in the fingers and
brutal.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, I like scary games, but I don't like games just because they're brutal.
Assassin's Creed is usually, it's not that, like, I don't think you're chopping off limbs, right? I don't think that.
They're much more gore heavy and horror heavy games out there than Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. You're lopping off limbs in The Witcher and God of War. You're not. You're not really doing that in Assassin's Creed.
But it's like it's a different feeling when you're like facing enemies that are human as opposed to like God of War. They were like, I don't know if they're like demons. They were kind of like demons.
Yeah, they're just like mythical creatures.
Yeah, mythical creatures. Yeah.
Yeah, like Breath of the Wild made it a point that you're never fighting, or not that they are never fighting humanoid characters, but that you never actually kill any humanoid characters.
That's why they put so much dismemberment in it, because none of those were humans.
Yeah,
that'd be ridiculous. Just
M-rated and M-rated.
Yeah. 18 plus. Legend of Zelda 2.
I mean, you rip the skull arms off.
That's true, and then you can use them as weapons. That's pretty brutal.
Yeah, but they're not like humanoid.
I was playing. I was playing Friday the 13th, the game, and oh my god, that is one of the most brutal games I've ever seen.
Woof.
So I'm all for. Like, I don't mind gore too much, but if it's too much gore, it gets to be over the top.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, it's not too gory. I don't think it will.
I don't think it will be. He did do the God of War axe throw though, so
yeah, but it didn't come back.
Yeah,
yeah, and Thor
you can throw.
Summon...
In the other games, you can throw like there's like throwing knives and stuff. Like that's not a new.
Yeah, but I feel like they made a point to do it like that. You know, they're like, "Hey, this was cool in God of War. We did it too. It just doesn't come back."
Yeah, I got to go get it.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything that you guys really want to see or not see in the games?
I think Dan has one.
The last game I played was Black Flag. I did not like the ships at all.
Oh no!
So.
Yep.
Oh no!
Yep.
The ships are coming back. There might not be.
The ships are definitely coming back.
Yeah, there might not.
I know the ships are coming back, and I was hoping they wouldn't, but hopefully they'll be avoidable. In Odyssey, at least I could swim everywhere, and for the most part, I was able to avoid every single ship-based combat sequence that way.
I just did my first ship-based combat in Origins, and I loved it. I rammed some boats and I was just like, get out of my face. And then I was just like shooting off like fire bombs, and it only lasted like 10 minutes. It was like,
oh, just wait. Just wait.
I'm still probably
That's what I'll say.
I'll still probably like it.
Yeah. I also heard they're going to scale back the RPG elements, and I really hope they do, because I don't want to see the RPG elements so intrusive like they were in Odyssey, at least for me personally.
What I read is it might not be as grindy. I think the RPG elements are still going to be there, but I don't think it's going to be as grindy.
You don't have to do as many side quests between main quests. Because that's something I've even noticed in Origins, is that it's like, okay, I do the main quest, and they're like, but they made this open world. Like, they don't want you to just grind main quests. Like, they built this massive Egypt. Like, go explore it. Go do side quests. Like, do you have any idea how much time we spent? Come on. Go check out this other stuff. Like, I think that's, like, why they made it such level gaps between, like, each main quest. And it's like, some people view that as grindy. Other people will be like, well, cool, this is an open world game. And like, I didn't want to bum rush Ganon anyway. I want to go see what's on top of that pyramid. So that's kind of how I've been playing Origins.
Yeah, Origins did a great job as far as balance for the most part. Odyssey really got lopsided though for me.
I mean, they're called side quests. You shouldn't have to do them to progress.
With Odyssey, I felt like I had to do side quest after side quest after side quest just to be able to tackle the main quests.
All right.
And it got really grindy.
Final thoughts on Assassin's Creed, other than 3 of us are buying it on day 1. It kind of depends on what system still. We'll let you know.
I mean, I'm hopefully optimistic.
I'm getting on the Xbox Series X for sure, day 1.
I think I might do that too.
I might end up doing that, honestly.
Sweet. All
right. It was PlayStation for me this generation. It's got to be Xbox next generation, maybe.
Definitely looking forward to Valhalla.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to watch more, check out our review of Final Fantasy VII Remake. You can also check out our other PackCast stories by clicking on the videos on the right. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time.